Hello, ladies. I hope you're having a beautiful day. And before we begin, oh my goodness, I can't even talk. Have not had enough coffee yet this morning. But before we begin, just go ahead and take a deep breath with me, through your nose, open your mouth, drop your shoulders, and chill the fuck out. I'm just kidding. Kind of, not kidding at all. But let's just have a really good day today, you guys. Let's just make today an amazing day. Do what you got to do. Get outside, get some fresh air, look directly into the sun, and just, you know, be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for the fact that you have lungs. Be thankful for the fact that you have a heart that you don't have to tell to beat all the time. You don't have to tell your eyes to blink. They just do. All these things. Let's just have a really good day. Okay. Now, in this episode, I'm going to tell you a story about my sister, actually. And I have an older sister, if you didn't know that. She's 3 years older than me, and she is this badass entrepreneur and has taught me everything that I know and then some. And she's just this really amazing, bright light. And she's been at this for a very long time. So I want to tell you a story about her that recently happened. And by the end of this episode, you're going to realize exactly what is missing in your content. So just for context, my sister built an empire. She built a massive brand. It's global at this point. And she did this all by starting with her social media. Okay. True story. She was showing up on social media, and now all of a sudden she has this crazy global brand, and it's well known. Okay. In her space. She's a dance fitness creator. All right. So now that we have that out of the way, she recently, and when I say recently, I mean this year, 2 months ago, opened a studio. So she's a dance fitness format creator. Her brand is Turn Up Dance Fitness. And she opened up her own studio for the first time. She has probably been thinking about this for, I want to say 10 years. I'm not even kidding. To the point where anytime that we would be driving and there would be a strip mall or somewhere with a lease sign in the window, we would have to pull over and she would go look into the window to see, would this be good for me to have a studio here? All of that to say, obviously it took her a long time to come to this decision. That's no small feat. And so she just did this. It's 2026 and she opened up her own studio. This beautiful, fully realized vision of what she's been quite literally building towards for years. And it was February when she had the grand opening. So she had been talking about the studio a little bit. Honestly, though, I feel as I study her and how she's built what she's built, she's at the point where she doesn't even have to do a crazy launch. She just has a community of people that ride with her, and her community is on mission with her. It's a full on movement. It's not they're not obsessed with her. They're obsessed with the movement. So anytime that she plans anything or hosts anything, they're all in, which is the goal for all of us, which is why I'm bringing this to the forefront today. So anyway, she has this grand opening in February. People were traveling from different states to come to the grand opening. And I'm talking this is a dance fitness studio. So you can imagine it's not huge. There's probably, I think we can fit 45, and even that is really tight, 45 women in there dancing. And the grand opening was a full weekend of classes, and it completely sold out. It was completely packed. The energy in the room was so lit, the walls were shaking. And then after the grand opening, here comes the part that I feel nobody really talks about. And that is the part after the party and the hype dies down. And now it's time for the regularly scheduled classes to be filled out. So she would have a Tuesday and a Thursday class moving forward. And I remember it was the first week of this where she had the regularly scheduled classes ready to go. And she had texted me and then called me. She was kind of freaking out, a little nervous, not because she doubted herself. So she's never been the type of person that's doubted herself. She might feel doubt creep in, but she takes action regardless. That's just who she's always been. But she was so worried that she wasn't going to be able to fill out her classes, that people wouldn't come. And she was worried that people wouldn't locally know about her studio, and that the magic of what she did for the grand opening wasn't going to translate into the weeks to come. So of course, I'm the content coach. I'm the marketing person of the family. And I said to her, we need to create a TikTok because, she was should we put it on our stories? And I'm yeah, for sure. We can put it on our Instagram stories. And so we did that. We work together a lot. So anytime that she has something in her business that she wants to talk about, we talk about it. Anytime that I need advice, I obviously go to her. Like that's who we are. We are also like best friends. So all that to say, we put it on our stories. It didn't really create much traction because again, it's like, I don't know. This is like there's so many metaphors, so many parallels here to what you're doing in your content. So just keep listening. Anyway, I was like, we need to create a TikTok. So she created a TikTok specific account for the studio and gave me the login. So we now share the login and I went crazy on this TikTok. Okay. So I had obviously been at the grand opening where I always capture a lot of content for her because, you know, treat thy neighbor as you want to be treated yourself. So I would want someone to get content of me. That is just who I am in the room. I'm getting content for her. So I had a ton of videos on my phone from the grand opening. So when she created this TikTok, I started uploading videos from the grand opening experience. And these were like 30-second videos, nothing crazy, maybe even like 15 seconds, but raw footage. I didn't edit a thing. I just cut out pieces that looked fun. And I wanted to showcase the energy, the people in the room, the movement, like the aliveness of the experience. And I didn't try to like I mean, if you look back on these videos, they're so funny. But like I didn't try to message what it was. So I wasn't like, this is Turn Up Dance Fitness. Here's what it is. I wasn't trying to convince anyone of anything. Like if you look at the actual like hook on the videos, I think I literally just put like Raleigh, North Carolina dance fitness. Like I was more focused on translating the energy of the room straight into the video. And that is what you are missing in your content, period. Now, let me just sum this up with I posted to this TikTok 3 times a day for I think like 10 days straight. We still obviously post there, but it was like I knew that I was going to go ham. I knew that I was like, I need to wake up every single day and I need to create 3 clips and post them to this TikTok every single day for at least a week. And I think I did it for like 10 days. And I'm not kidding. Like beyond the engagement that the videos got, which was crazy. It's still crazy. It's like hard to keep up with. Beyond the DMs, like you wouldn't even believe. So there's also this thing on TikTok where you can't put a link in the bio until you have 1,000 followers. So we were like waiting to get 1,000 followers for a couple days because everyone was like, where's the link? Where's the link? Where's the link? And I'm like, bro, we can't put it in the freaking bio yet. Like chill, like I'll just DM it to you. Anyway, and like even some of our friends were like trying to help out. Like they were DMing people or like responding to comments for us. It was like the coolest thing ever. Shout out to Kari and Jelly. Like holy crap, that was so cool. Anyway, so 7 days in, 10 days in, whatever, like less than 2 weeks, all of a sudden my sister's classes are sold out like for weeks. People are just like wanting, like signing up for these classes. It was the craziest thing, honestly. And it was a couple weeks after we had started this TikTok and I was actually teaching a class. So I was teaching a like choreographed dance class. Now, also side note, I'm not a dancer. I was a college basketball player. I've never been like a trained dancer, but this is where it like this goes along with the perception work that I talk about all the time. Like I don't care if I'm not a dancer. I'm going to learn, I'm going to make up a dance like I used to when I was a little girl, and then I'm going to go teach other adult people how to do this dance. And that's like so much fun. Like what do you mean? That's so fun. I don't have to be a trained dancer. No one told me I had to do that. So anyway, I come in to teach this class. My class is sold out. Okay. It's like 25 to 30 people in this class. And in the beginning of the class, I introduced myself and I asked like, who's here from TikTok? And the entire freaking room raised their hand, you guys, the entire room. I'm like, what? Like, that is just crazy. The power of social media, the power of your content. So I want to be very clear about what I mean with this story and why I'm bringing this forward. Because right now, I would say most of you are trying so hard with however you like vocalize, like your articulation, with your messaging. You're trying so hard to convince people that you are good at what you do. So you will like try to come up with a hook, or you'll write a caption, or you'll write a script for your chit chat reels, and you'll try to explain your process. And you're like, I need to speak to the pain points. I need to describe who they're going to become. And you're creating these carousels that outline your framework, and you're posting testimonials, hoping that they're going to prove like you're credible of doing what you're doing. And it's not working for you, at least not in the way that you want it to. The reason that it's not working, even though you feel like you're giving so much effort to your content, is because people actually don't need to be convinced at all. They do not need to be convinced. They could actually do less of being convinced. Here's what they actually need. They need to feel it from you. They need to freaking feel your power. And that can't be done with telling them that you're powerful. They need to feel the energy of quite literally who you are when you're actually doing the damn thing, when you are serving your people, when you are in your zone of genius. The same way that I captured these videos of the room, Turn Up Dance Fitness going down, and all I did was put them in social media, and now all of a sudden everybody wants to come. That energy is missing from your content. Now, I do realize, like, the elephant in the room here, it's much easier to record like a dance fitness class than it is to record you hosting your Zoom calls or like whatever. But is it? Like, is it? Like, why aren't you taking the opportunity to record yourself coaching people for free? Like, set up your phone and pretend like you're talking to a client and coach someone on something very simple, very basic. And without saying like, and this is what we do in my program, like, you can just do it very simply. But you're so focused on telling people what you do that you've forgotten to show them who you actually are. Oof. I feel like that was a mic drop moment. Was it? I mean, I feel like it was, but I don't know. I feel like I watch people and I'm like, you're so focused on trying to be professional and trying to be the authority, and those things, yes, they matter, but like, they don't matter if they're going to make you strip away the life out of your content. Like, you're removing the life. You're sucking the life out of your content because you're so focused on convincing that you have stopped translating. Who you are behind the scenes is not matching up in your content. And I'm just going to shoot you straight because you deserve that. And I know you can handle it. Not a single soul, no one, 0 people are convinced by your explanations. 0. They might not even be freaking reading it. Okay, let me just tell you that right now. Want to know what they need? They are moved by your energy. People are not going to hire you because you explained your framework very well. I need to also say this. I feel like I might be slightly confusing you because I stand for frameworks. Like, I think you actually need to have a very solid methodology. That is something that I work with my clients on. Like, you need to know what the heck it is that you do. You don't just bring people in and quote unquote coach them. Like, you need to know what you walk them through. But when it comes to your content and your marketing, this is a different world. They're not going to hire you because of your framework most of the time. They're going to hire you because they felt something when they watched your content. They felt the energy of the room. They feel FOMO. Like, they're like, holy crap, if I'm not in that room, I'm missing out. Because the energy of your world, the energy of what it's like to be in your presence is like crazy. It feels like I need to be there. What the heck? And if that energy is not in your content, yes, you are invisible. You are basically just creating noise for yourself. So with my sister's studio, with this TikTok strategy, with this content strategy, actually, we didn't have a strategy. We did not have a strategy. We didn't have like a content calendar of like, well, we need to storytell on this day. We need to agitate on this day. We didn't sit down and map out what the messaging should be or who the ideal like client is coming through the door. I just started uploading without even thinking about it. Videos of the grand opening, people stretching, people laughing, people moving their bodies in a way that felt good so that you could actually feel like you were in the room without being in the room yet. The music, the lighting, my sister like speaking in front of the class, completely in her freaking element, dude. Like, completely. She didn't even know I was recording. And you could feel that through the screen. You could feel the energy of what it would be like if you were to step foot inside of that room and be part of the experience, to be around someone so fully expressed in what they do, so obsessed with what they do that it's contagious. And so some of the videos started taking off. Like, there's multiple videos that went viral. And again, the hook was literally like, North Carolina, new studio. Like, there was no perfect hook. There was no TikTok trend. Okay. There was no trend at all. It was because the energy was like actually undeniable, period. We didn't overthink it. People could see other people doing their thing and they wanted to be a part of that. They started showing up to classes. Like, I mean, literally, it's months later now and this is still continuing. We don't post 3 times a day anymore. Like, that's how quick this can happen. But people are showing up to these classes not because we convinced them or gave them a discount or set some urgency up, but because we simply translated the energy from the room to the content. So what you need to understand is that is what your content should be doing. not needing to convince, not needing to prove anything, but translating who you are, the energy of who you are when you are actually coaching someone, when you are actually mentoring someone, when you're in the room with your clients and you are completely in your zone of genius, completely in your power. And that version of you, whoever that you are when you're doing that, she's magnetic. Like, she is undeniable. I will tell you right now, like, even my husband, when he hears me on my Zoom calls, regardless of what it is, if it's like a one-on-one private call, if it's an activation workshop, which I host for my membership, if it's a hot seat coaching call, which I host for my mastermind, my husband will listen and he'll be like, dude, you are so happy when you're on these calls. Like, you are so in the zone. And I do. I feel like I'm like in this bubble, and I want people to feel that in my content. And that version of me, she's the reason people want to work with me. And if that version of you is not in your content, no one knows that she exists. So it's not even like they're denying you, because they don't know that you exist. They don't know who you are. So that's the shift that you need to start making. Stop trying to tell people how good you are. Freaking show them. Not with testimonials are very important. It's part of my overall strategy. Like, my goal is to create a case study post that lives on my feed at least once a week with a testimonial. So I'm not saying that those aren't important, but that's not like the thing. The thing that is going to get people into your world is letting them feel the energy of what it is already like in your world. Showing them what you look like when you're coaching, what you sound like when you're in a session, what the energy is like when you're doing the thing that you were put on this earth to do. You are actually incredible when you're in your work, when you're in your zone. You are confident, you are clear, you are powerful, you are fully expressed. You don't even hold back. Like, you don't need a script when you're coaching people. You don't need to think like, okay, what's her pain point first? And then how do I dissect this problem? And then what's the best solution here? And how do I get specific? And how do I articulate this? You don't think that shit. The second you do, the second that you're coaching someone, it just comes to you. And then the second you sit down to create content, you become someone else. You become this careful, polished, performative robot. And then you worry what people are going to think, or you worry is this clear enough? Does this make enough sense? Or whether or not it ties to your offer. And in the process, you strip away the very thing that makes you addictive. Your energy is addictive. The energy of the transformation when you're actually facilitating it. The energy of your presence when you are fully being yourself. That is what people are going to be buying from you. Your energy. And if your content isn't translating that, you're making it so much harder on yourself than it needs to be. So in practice, what this looks like is, obviously, this is very basic, but you got to stop overthinking every single post, number one. Stop trying to craft the perfect message and explain everything. Stop trying to convince people that you're credible. You got to check yourself on this shit. And you start translating. It might even be you share, I don't know, I'm getting so frustrated. It might even be you share a voice note that you recorded after a powerful session with a client, and you're just you're still going. It might be a video of you explaining a concept the same way that you would explain it to someone sitting across from you that is paying you. Pretend people in your audience are paying you for your content. Would that change how you show up? Raw footage of you actually doing your work. Stop holding back. Stop gatekeeping. You're literally keeping yourself hidden on purpose. It's weird. And it doesn't have to be polished. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to feel like you. The same you that shows up when you're serving your actual people. And that's going to be the one that people want to hire. All right. So the wake-up call here for you is basically to let you know that you are trying too hard. You are making this way harder than it needs to be. You're trying too hard to convince people. You're trying too hard to explain. You're trying too hard to make people understand what it is that you do. And in the process, by doing all of that, you're hiding the very thing that would actually make you undeniable, a no-brainer, which is just you. So with that being said, we are going to continue with takeover season. So in takeover season, that is basically my if I had to name what my movement is, I would call it the takeover season. And the takeover season is basically this moment where you decide to stop getting so much in your head about this shit in your social media and like instead breathe life into your brand. Start to really take up space with who you are and own that. I'm telling you right now, if you haven't joined the personality post versus everything, like the women in there who are actually creating those posts, their content is going crazy. Now, here's the concept behind that. It's very important to create personality content for many different reasons, but when we talk about getting visibility, when we talk about the right people finding us, creating personality content is like going to get you views. And when you get views, when you get people who see you and they like you and they're like, oh, she's interesting, she feels different, she feels refreshing, then they go and they binge the rest of your content. When they binge the rest of your content, that's when they get to land on like your proof of concept or your case study post or your spicy opinions, like whatever that may be. Like maybe it is a post where you explain your framework, but that's not the you crafting and like creating and performing is not the majority of your content. So when you create these personality posts and people start to find you, again, you want people to feel who you are. So, okay. I am so grateful that you were in this episode with me. Thank you so much for listening. If you have a moment, it would mean so much to me. It would allow me to keep doing this episode or these shows. If you went and gave a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or if you dropped a written review, that would like quite literally make my entire month. But if you would love to just share this to your stories and tag me, that would also make my day. Or you can slide in my DMs and tell me what your favorite part about this episode was. Nonetheless, I love to know who the listeners are. I love to interact with you guys. I get a lot of DMs and I'm not even kidding. It's like the highest form of compliment to me. So all of that to say, I'm going to keep showing up and showing out and creating these episodes. But I would just love to know if you are in the audience listening to this and if it made an impact on you. That would be lovely. So anyway, I love you so much. I hope you have a great day and I will see you next week.